taking odd people up and down the line and that sort of thing. So they became quite a familiar sight before there were trains started to come through. And they didn't bring trains through until most of the ballasting was done. Once the ballasting was done, then the line was a going concern then.
So do you see trains going up and down the line?
Mainly
these are steam trains I'm referring to.
Yes, there were some steam trains. Well, before Christmas of that year, there were quite a few of them. It became quite a regular thing to see these things.
And what were they carrying up the line, and what were they carrying back down the line?
Well, I never saw too many troops. It was mainly either equipment or food or supplies for their own people.
You didn't see any of the... I understand there was a train load at least of comfort women who were taken in for the troops. You were never aware of that?
Yes, they were down at the 95 camp.
Mm-hmm.
And our guards every now and again were given the okay to go down to the 95 camp. Mm-hmm. And of course they were became quite amenable when they found out they were going down to one of these camps. But they were there relatively early in the piece. Because these guards used to talk to you and tell you what they were hoping to do and this sort of thing. There was quite a lot of communication about all these sorts of things.
Now, do you recall your journey from Burma back down into Thailand?
Yes, we left the 105. We'd gone up to 105. We left that and made this trip down into Thailand and to Tamuang or whatever it was known as. And it was a pretty hairy journey as far as we were concerned, because we knew what had gone into some of the bridges and that sort of thing, so you were never quite sure that you weren't going to get caught in your own sorts of traps. So, but when we went over the trestle bridge that was up against the wall of the cutting, that was I was full of admiration for these blokes then for what they'd done, because it was quite a tremendous bit of work, that lot.
Is that the one where the cliff's on one side and the river's on the other side?
Right.
The Wampo Viaduct?
Yeah, well, whatever its name is, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Mm. How many days did it take you to come up from Burma to Tamuang?
As I remember, it was about 2 days, but I'm a bit vague on that. But
what were the wagons like that you were travelling in, or on?
Normal stuff. It was steel enclosed wagons, and invariably we opened all the doors, but it still didn't make them very much cooler. But they were quite hot things to drive around in.
Yes. And you think you went into Tamuang camp?
Yeah.
Were you there when it was it was bombed, accidentally bombed by the Allies?
No, we didn't stay very long. They made up a Japan party and issued us with clothes, put us into a separate part of the camp, and kept us separate from those who were staying. and then shuttered us out, and we went to one of the other camps just down the track a bit. Stayed there for a couple of days, then went on down through Bangkok, and then down through to Phnom Penh. We jumped on the boats down at Phnom Penh and went down the river to Saigon. Saigon.
Uh-huh. And what happened there?
Well, it was quite a relatively good place because there was plenty of food there. We still had to work. You had to work each day, every day, but the population was all pro-French, and there were a lot of French people in Saigon, of course, and so we got a fairly good reception. When you're going to work in trucks, stuff would get thrown into the trucks. The Japs used to grizzle about it, but nevertheless, you get fruit and cigarettes and that sort of thing be thrown into the trucks, and of course the thing was to grab it before the Japs could grab it and whisk it away somewhere so that they couldn't get their hands on it. But
do you remember any Australian doctors in Saigon?
No. By the time I got to Saigon, I had just about got rid of my malarial problems. I had obtained a milk bottle full of quinine tablets and put myself on a prophylactic dose of one each day, and that seemed to keep it at bay. And while it was may not have been the brightest thing to do, at least it kept this damn malaria away from me.
Yes. Did you? Were there many Brits in Saigon?
Yes, yeah, there were some there with us, actually.
Were you aware of any that had been there for a long time?
Yes, there were some there that had been there for quite a long time, but they were kept separate to us.
Why I ask you is that the Australian doctor who was there probably around the same time as you was Rolly Richards.
Rolly, yeah.
And he says that the British officers came over and asked him to get the Aussies to stop lying about the conditions that they'd experienced on the line in Burma, because they just did not believe that it could have been as bad as described. And apparently these were Brits that had been there a long time and actually had lived for a prisoner of war, a fairly comfortable existence.
That's right, yeah. But Riley would have told him very quickly.
You obviously know him.
I ran across him, yeah.
Wonderful man.
Yeah.
Just going back to Burma,